If you have some money sitting in a savings account and a quiet feeling that you should be investing it but you have no idea how, this video is the one that finally makes it simple. Because here is the uncomfortable truth. Money sitting in a normal savings account is not safe, it is slowly melting. Inflation quietly eats a few percent of its buying power every single year, so doing nothing is not the cautious choice you think it is a guaranteed slow loss. The problem is that the whole world of investing has been made to sound complicated on purpose, full of jargon and scary charts, so that you feel like you need permission or a finance degree to start. You do not. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly where a normal person puts their first $500, why the boring option beats the exciting one almost every time, and the specific steps to go from money sitting still to money quietly working for you. No hype, no stock picking, no get rich quick. Just the honest, boring, proven path that actually builds wealth. Let us decode it. First, let us kill the biggest myth stopping you. You do not need to be rich to start investing. You need to start investing to become rich. Most people wait, telling themselves they will begin once they have some big, serious amount saved up. $10,000. 20. And so they wait for years, and those are the most valuable years they will ever have, wasted. Here is why $500 is more than enough. The point of your first investment is almost never the money itself. It is the education and the habit. Your first $500 teaches you how the account works, what it feels like to watch it move up and down, and how to not panic. It turns investing from a scary idea into a normal thing you do. And it gets the single most powerful force in finance, compounding, switched on and working for you, even if it starts small. A small amount invested today and left alone will quietly outgrow a large amount you keep promising to invest someday. So stop waiting for a bigger number. The best time was years ago. The second best time is with the $500 you have right now. So where does that first $500 go? Not into a hot stock your cousin swears by. Not into the coin everyone is screaming about online. For almost every normal person, the answer is something called an index fund, and once you understand it, you will wonder why nobody told you sooner. Picture this. Instead of trying to pick the one winning company out of thousands, which even the professionals fail at, an index fund lets you buy a tiny slice of all of them at once. A total market index fund, for example, is like buying a little piece of the entire American economy in one click, hundreds of the biggest companies, bundled together. If one company stumbles, it barely matters, because you own all the others too. You are not betting on a horse, you are betting on the whole race. Historically, the broad market has risen over the long run, rewarding the patient and boring far more reliably than the exciting stock pickers. It is not thrilling. There is no story to brag about at dinner. It just quietly works, decade after decade, which is exactly why it wins. Now you might be thinking, but I could make so much more picking the next big winner. Let us be honest about that, because the fantasy is expensive. Picking individual stocks is not investing, it is much closer to gambling, and the odds are brutal. Study after study shows that the large majority of professional fund managers, people with teams, data, and decades of experience, fail to beat the simple index over time. If the pros with every advantage cannot reliably do it, the chance that you will, buying tips from the internet on your phone at night, is painfully small. For every story you hear about someone who got rich on one lucky stock, there are 100 silent people who lost, and they do not post about it. The index fund does something psychologically genius. It takes the impossible job of picking winners off your plate entirely. You stop trying to be smart and start being consistent, and consistent is the thing that actually compounds. Boring and diversified beats exciting and concentrated, not sometimes, but almost always, over a long enough time. Okay, the practical part, because knowing what to buy is useless if you do not know where. To invest, you open something called a brokerage account. Think of it as a special bank account whose job is to hold your investments instead of just cash. There are large, reputable, low-cost brokerage companies that let you open one for free, right from your phone, in about the same time it takes to set up a new social media app. When you choose one, you are looking for two things. First, low or zero fees, because fees are a silent tax that eats your returns over decades. Second, That it offers low-cost index funds, which the big well-known ones all do. You do not need the perfect one, you just need a solid, boring, established one, and there are several. The sign-up will ask for normal details to verify who you are, then let you link your regular bank account so you can move money in. That is it. This step feels intimidating only until you have done it once, and then you realize it was easier than most things you do online already. Let me walk you through the exact sequence, so there is no confusion. Step 1. Open a brokerage account with a low-cost, reputable company, and verify your identity. Step 2. Link your bank account and transfer your $500 in. When it lands, it will just sit there as cash inside the brokerage, and this is where a lot of beginners accidentally stop, thinking they are done. You are not, the money is in the building but not yet working. Step 3. This is the real move, use that cash to actually buy the index fund. You search for a broad, low-cost index fund, enter how much you want to invest, and hit buy. Now your $500 is no longer cash, it is ownership, a tiny slice of hundreds of companies, and it is finally working for you. Step 4, and this is the secret that beats almost everyone, set up an automatic transfer so a small amount moves in and gets invested every month without you thinking about it. Automation removes emotion, and emotion is what wrecks most investors. Set it, and let boring consistency do the heavy lifting. Now I have to prepare you for the hardest part, and it is not technical, it is emotional. At some point, maybe soon, you will open your account and see that your money has gone down. The market dropped, and your 500 is now 450. Your gut will scream at you to sell, to save what is left, to get out. This exact moment is where most people destroy their own wealth. Here is the truth that separates winners from losers. For a long-term investor, a market dip is not a disaster, it is a sale. The same slices of the economy are simply on discount, and your automatic monthly investment is now buying more of them for less. The people who get rich from index funds are not the ones who timed it perfectly. They are the ones who did nothing during the scary parts, who kept buying, who let time do its work. Downturns are normal, they have always recovered over long enough periods, and the boring investor who refuses to panic ends up owning far more than the clever one who jumped in and out. Your job is not to be smart. Your job is to not flinch. Let us set honest expectations, because false promises are how people get hurt. Your $500 is not going to make you rich, and anyone who tells you otherwise is selling something. What it does is start the engine. Real wealth from investing comes from 3 boring things multiplied together. How much you invest, how consistently you keep adding, and above all, how long you leave it alone. Time is the ingredient nobody wants to hear about, because it cannot be rushed, but it is where the magic actually lives. The first few years will feel slow and almost pointless, the numbers barely move, and this is exactly when most people quit. But compounding is not a straight line, it is a curve that stays flat and then bends sharply upward late. The investor who keeps feeding small amounts in and waits, refusing to touch it, wakes up years later to a number that looks impossible compared to what they put in. Slow is not the flaw of this plan. Slow is the entire strategy, and patience is the price of admission. Before you go, let me save you from the mistakes that trip up almost every beginner, because avoiding these is half the game. Mistake 1, checking your account every day. This is a habit built for stress and bad decisions. You are investing for years, so checking hourly only tempts you to panic. Set it and largely forget it. Mistake 2, chasing whatever is hot right now. By the time a stock or a coin is all over your feed, the easy money is usually gone, and the crowd arriving late is often the one that gets hurt. Boring index funds sidestep this entirely. Mistake 3, paying high fees without realizing it. A fee that sounds tiny, like 1 or 2% a year, can quietly eat a huge chunk of your wealth over decades, so always favor low-cost funds. Mistake 4, stopping when the market drops. We covered this, but it bears repeating, because it is the most expensive mistake of all. And mistake 5, waiting for the perfect moment to start. There is no perfect moment, there is only started or not started. Avoid these 5, and you are already ahead of most investors alive. If you forget everything else in this video, remember this one idea, because it is the whole thing in a sentence. Investing is not about being brilliant, it is about being consistent. The person who invests a small, steady amount every single month, automatically, through good times and scary times, and simply refuses to stop, will almost always end up wealthier than the genius who tries to time it all perfectly. Wealth built this way is quiet and almost boring. There is no big lucky moment to brag about, just a steadily growing number that one day becomes life-changing. This is the honest secret the financial world does not make exciting because there is no product to sell you in it. Buy the whole market cheaply, add to it automatically, ignore the noise, and give it years. That is not a trick or a loophole. It is the actual, proven, unglamorous path that has quietly built more real wealth than every hot stock tip combined. The only thing standing between you and it is starting, and then having the patience to let it work. So let us bring it home. Money sitting in a savings account is slowly melting from inflation, so doing nothing is not safe, it is a quiet loss. Your first $500 is not about getting rich, it is about starting the engine and learning the ropes. You put it into a low-cost index fund, which lets you own a slice of the entire economy instead of gambling on one company, and you do it inside a free, reputable brokerage account. Then you automate a small amount every month, you refuse to panic when the market dips, because dips are just sales, and you give the whole thing years, because time is where the real magic hides. Boring, diversified, automatic, and patient beats exciting, concentrated, and emotional almost every single time. You do not need permission, a degree, or a fortune to begin. You need to start, today, with what you have. If this made investing finally feel simple, subscribe to Money Decoded USA, where we break down real money, with no hype. Now go open that account, and turn your first $500 from money that sits into money that works.